Hey, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Today, we're going to be doing a first impression of the Nomad Cosmetics Royal Europe palette. I'm so excited about this. So if you are too, stay tuned and keep watching. So as we can see, this gorgeous outer packaging, love the color story they're going with on this, really gives in to what we can expect on the inside. And then we get to the actual palette inside, and just, I wish that the camera would do justice to show, but like there's just like layers to the design on this palette, and just, oh, some ASMR for you. We're not that kind of channel, but couldn't help myself. Anyways, this is absolutely gorgeous. Definitely fits the royal vibe, and it gets me even more excited for what's inside. So let's get in there. So we open her up, and there's a nice kind of like wax sort of paper. I almost feel like I kind of like Nomad's touch of doing this instead of the plastic ones. And then we see the beautiful color story. Oh, just look at that. I am such a sucker for jewel tones, and then pair it with these gorgeous multichromes they got down here, and chef's kiss. I'm in love instantly. I haven't even used it yet. Haven't swatched it, anything, but I am obsessed already. I know this is going to be a favorite. I'm new to the Nomad palettes. I only have the Haunted Europe, so kept on theme there. And then I also got their last launch, the Verona one. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad that I am forgetting the proper name for it right now, but I will insert it hopefully on screen maybe somewhere. But when they came out with this one, I just knew I had to give in and buy this one as well. So let's just get into swatching it and go from there. So I'm just going to do this on the back of my hand. So I'm just going to go row by row at a time. I'm not going to live swatch them. I'm sure there's tons of videos where people have done that, but I'm just going to swatch it and then show what that row looks like on my hand, so you can see, and we can all just enjoy seeing it swatched for the first time, even though I'm sure it's not the first time you've seen it swatched. Anyways, let's get on with it. All right, so here is the first row. So starting with this shade, this is Schönbrunn Palace. I'm probably gonna butcher these names. Then this is Wilano Palace. And then this is Palace of Versailles. And this is Buckingham Palace. And then this is it Pina Palace? So as you can see, a bunch of palaces, but gorgeous first row of jewel tones. Oh, I love this mustardy tone. Oh, so pretty. Let's get on to the next row. All right, there's the second row. So this first one is Neptune Fountain, and then we have King's Room, followed by Hall of Mirrors, and then the Ballroom, and then Great Hall. It's another gorgeous row. And now I know we're all super excited for the last row. So let's get to it. All right, so the last, but definitely not least row. So this is Imperial Crown, and then Royal Orb, and then Bleu de France, and then St. Edward's Crown, and then Royal Treasure. Let's try to show off these shifts a little bit more. Oh, how stunning. Oh, this gets me so excited. This shade I think was the shade I was the absolute most excited for. So we're definitely gonna have to play with that one, but I love them all. I'm just so excited about this palette. All right, so now let's get into creating a look. Be right back. All right, we are zoomed in closer Not as close as we've been in the past because I have discovered that I have a heck of a time staying within the screen. So I'm hoping being out a little bit will make sure that even if I kind of look down a bit more or something, hopefully I'll stay in the screen. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Anyways, you don't want to be like that close to this face anyways, like telling you. Let's get started. So to start off with, I already applied my base. This is the P. Louise Base Pro. Well, I guess, I don't know if just like this big size is called the Base Pro, but it is the Cosmetic Base in Rumor 0.5. Got that there. And I've applied that all over my lids, cleaned up my brows. But let's get on to the good stuff. I am going to first take, this is a Sigma Soft Focus shader brush, an E52. I love just how big it is. I think it's great for laying down some initial color. And I am going to take that, take Great Haul. Helps if I tell you what shade I'm using, right? And I'm going to start laying that down. I think we're gonna kind of do a halo eye. Sorry if it's not that exciting of a eye look, but it's a first impression. I'm getting to know the palette, even though I'm sure I'm gonna love the formula because I've tried Nomad Cosmetics before. I have been super happy with their formula. I think the only thing I've ever run into was that when I first got the Haunted Europe palette, it was super cool, but it was almost like too cool for me because I was almost kind of stumped at like what to do with the color story, which I totally kind of put on myself as not, oh god, I think I got, that's okay, we'll cover that up with a lot of inner corner sparkle. The dangers of putting your base makeup down before eye makeup. Anyways, I think I was definitely feeling like I didn't know what to do with that palette, so I feel like I haven't used it as much because of that maybe, but I think they do amazing color stories. I really do want to get more of their palettes. I feel like I'm potentially missing out on some great color stories, and that saddens me. So I'll probably at some point, maybe if they're having like a Wicked sale or something, because your girl only has so much money. But hopefully you don't hear that so much in the background. My husband is coughing up a lung. While we've got working with this brush in the shade, we're also just going to start stamping that on the lower lash line. Probably should have used a smaller brush, but that's okay. Apparently we just like really dramatic lower lash lines on this channel. We're only going to bring that in so far. One, because the brush is huge, and also I'm going to put other shades down. So let's find a bit more reasonable size brush. Why don't we go with this one here? This is a ColourPop. A ColourPop has no name on it because I think this is back when they were not putting their names on brushes, like any like name for the brush. And let's go into the ballroom. Go a little bit more purpley with this next. Oh, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna finish doing this because I've done it now, but maybe we need to go in with Pina Palace or Pina. I feel like I'm saying that horribly wrong. Is it Pina? There's no accent thing on, so I don't think it's Pina, but should probably do my research, find out what something is called before so I could actually say some of these names correctly. All right, we went and finished putting that shade on. Beautiful shade, the Ballroom, but I actually just don't feel like it was going to do enough. So let's go in with that Pina. I feel like the shades I am going with, this is coming across very monochromatic. I probably could have livened it up a bit with using some more shades. But you know what? That's what the Multichrome is for. So let's just let it do its bit. I'm filming this like super late at night because the only time I can like film stuff is really when my kiddos are asleep. And yeah, I got distracted with stuff on top of that. And I feel like I'm getting this like patchy moment right here, but I don't necessarily think that's the shadow. I think that's just maybe how I'm applying it, but we're not gonna get too technical in the look today, because like I said, first impression. And let's do the other side. Try to make it match somewhat. It's not always the trick. It's like you can get one eye done, but you know that you're gonna have to try to match the other eye. I'm sort of just doing a slew of different blending techniques. I'm going in circles, I'm kind of pulling the color, especially at like the tail of like the wing area here, just to better control like how diffused that gets. See if like I pull it, I just feel like it gets nice and diffused. And I'm just gonna dip back into Great Hall with this brush and try to stamp that right in there, just to help fill any patchy kind of holes I've created with my subpar application. Wow, I hope you didn't hear that. My stomach just grumbled so loud. You guys must really live for my small talk. But I try to keep talking in the videos because I'm super self-conscious about my breathing. I know, weird. Anyways, I feel like I'm just like such a heavy breather. And so I feel like if I'm not talking, I'm sitting here going like, and you know, like that was obviously super attractive. And I just don't think you guys want to hear that on your TVs or phones or whatever it is that my face is gracing your world on. Oh my gosh, I'm like the worst. I didn't even say. I've got now, this is the Jessup brush. This set that I have doesn't have any like names for it, but it was just a, like just no product on it, just blank blender brush. And now I'm just going around like I do, and I'm going to just soften all the edges of everything to help make sure it's looking as seamless as we can, but you know. And then just hopping back in with colors as I feel I need to, because sometimes I'll take a moment, you know, like with any art, sometimes you have to just stop for a second, step back, look at it, and just kind of see where you might have to tweak something. It's called Makeup Artistry. Hello. I'm so witty, so smart. Anyways, but sometimes you just have to take a step back and just get some perspective of what you might need to add to the look. Anyways, we're gonna get into the exciting part, which is putting on the Multichrome. But before we do that, we need to apply some glitter glue. So I need a flat brush. This one will do. It's another Jessup one. This one's double-ended. I'm gonna use this rounded flat side. And we're just gonna get our NYX glitter glue. I guess I could try to kind of do that on camera. And I'm going to stamp that across like my entire lid because I want it covering as much space as possible because I want this multi-chrome basically everywhere. Not that the other shades aren't beautiful, but it's all about the multi-chrome. Curious, have any of you gotten this palette? If you did, what have you thought? Have you even tried Nomad Cosmetics at all? And if you have, and you have a bigger collection than I do, or other palettes than what I do, what ones, like if I were to get more Nomad Cosmetics palettes, what ones should I get? I'm curious. I think the ones I'm the most interested in are the Whistler palette. God, I feel like I'm talking so weird. The Whistler palette. Oh, what other ones? I'm the worst for remembering names of things. I'm also super curious about the Hudson Valley palette. There's also still like that kind of like one of their first, that Tokyo, is it the Tokyo here? Oh my god, I'm a butcher if I try to say it. But that one, there's just something so cute about like the pastels and that, and I've just always been curious about it. So I don't know, but curious to get your input on what you would recommend. Now I'm taking that same brush and going into Royal Treasure, that multi-chrome I said during the swatches that I was super excited about. Just look at that. And we're gonna apply that all over my lid. I love the pink and the green and I love everything about this. Wow. And that just like glided on. Oh. I do have to say this is probably one of like the better experiences I've had between my 3 palettes and like the Nomad shimmers. Maybe it's just this multi-chrome formula. I don't know. Not that the other ones were bad. It was just, I do feel like in like my Verona palette, like they were a bit tighter pressed, which the company was super helpful and like right on problem solving that when people were having issues with those palettes. So I'm sure if like there was like that much of an issue with it, I could have reached out and gotten replacement for the shades, but I don't know, I didn't think it was that bad, and I just didn't want to waste anything. So I'm happy with my palette still, but I definitely did struggle with the shimmers a little bit more. Now I'm going back into Great Hall, just on the same brush I used earlier, and I'm just going to deepen up the inner and outer corner now that the shimmer's there, just to make sure I don't lose that depth. know, they might be boring looks to people, but there's something I just love about like just a messy, blown out, halo-esque look. I don't know. I just find this super fun, and it makes me happy, and it allows me to enjoy how pretty the shades are. So I'm okay with that. Anyways, kept it short and sweet, except from the rambling. Now I'm going to go off camera, put on some mascara, some lashes, just finish everything, and we'll come back and chat about my thoughts. So be right back. All right, here it is, the final look. What do we think? I am so happy with how this turned out. I love the jewel tones matched with just kind of how blown out and grungy I went with this. I'm down for it. Might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I'm drinking it. So let's get on with our thoughts. I adore this palette. I think we knew going into this, I think you knew moments into this video that I adored this palette. I hadn't even used it yet, and I adored this palette. I think this might be my favorite one. I only have 3, so take that with a grain of salt, but I think this is my favorite. Verona might be a really close second, but I can see myself reaching for this even more. These gorgeous jewel tones, trying to have my arm completely in the shot, are just absolutely stunning. Like, I can't stop staring at it. It's so pretty. I am super impressed with how, I know I only used this Multichrome, but I swatched all of them, and I'm just super impressed with how everything, just how smooth everything was. The application was seamless. I'm impressed. I'm sold. I already bought it, so obviously. Anyways, if you were thinking about getting this palette, wanting to dip your toes into Nomad Cosmetics, I definitely don't think you can go wrong with this one. I don't think you'll regret it. I think it's going to be a absolutely wonderful addition to anyone's collection. It's just nice. I don't think a lot of companies have delved too much into the jewel tones. Who knows, maybe we're going to be seeing a lot more of that coming up. But you know, tons of rainbow, tons of warm tones, but not as many just jewel toned color stories. So I'm definitely happy that we got this time from Nomad. But I think they bring it every time. Like, I don't feel like you look at their palettes and you just feel like you're seeing repetition of everything, and that they've done it again and again. I guess that's what repetition means, isn't it? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching me play with this palette for the first time. I hope it maybe inspired you to play either with makeup you already have, or maybe it'll help make a decision if you're on the fence about getting this palette, or you have this palette and you just wanted an idea of a look to do. It's a simple look, but I like how it turned out. So yeah, that's all I've got. If you enjoyed this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. I love chatting with you down there. And really, if you really want to make my day, subscribe. I would love to have you here for more videos, but that is it. We're going to try to just close this up without too much rambling. Probably too late for that. And just say, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.